everyone, so this is Charles, and for my passion project I decided to make sugar cookies. It's easy. You can do whatever you want with it. You can decorate it any way you want. You can use any sugar recipe you like, but I'm going to use the Betty Crocker sugar cookie mix because it's simple, it's easy, you don't need that many ingredients. You can find it in most Walmarts, maybe not all, but definitely most. So let's go with the ingredients. Okay, so the ingredients you'll need is 1 pack of sugar cookie mix Betty Crocker. This recipe calls for 1 egg and half a cup of margarine per packet, half a cup of margarine butter spread, or better known as 1 stick. Like, you could just use a stick, but I'm using margarine, so. And then you'll need a rolling pin to roll out the dough, cookie sheets, which I recommend because it's better than just putting on the baking tray itself, and you can just take the cookie sheet up to cool, parchment paper, whatever. And then a mixer. It doesn't have to be a stand mixer, it could be a hand mixer. Just don't use your hands because that will take forever. So yeah, let's get started. So at this point, it's kind of goopy and doughy. So we're going to transfer it onto plastic wrap. It doesn't really matter where it's from because I found out that this works just as well as putting the dough all over the flour, which is a big mess. So I found that saran wrap or plastic wrap can do the exact same thing. So I'll see you later when I have transferred all the dough. So now that I've transferred the dough onto here, also I forgot to tell you guys, you'll only need to mix it on medium if you're using like a hand mixer. You only need to do it for about 2 minutes, but since I'm using a stand mixer and it takes a bit long to get everything, I did it for about like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, just until it gets kind of like a doughy consistency, but it's still a doughy kind of feeling, if that makes sense. So I'll just wrap it up and I'll get back to you when it's done chilling. So after it's chilled, it should look something like this. So what you're gonna need to do now is get about a teaspoon, or actually it doesn't really matter how big you make it. Just make sure that you know that this will flatten out and rise and get bigger. So yeah, just if you want to stick with it, just use about like a teaspoon size. You know, just make about the little ball and put it 2 inches apart because it's going to spread out a lot. So I'll show you more if you want, like, if you want it to look like something else. So yeah, so these kinds, what I did was, I added that 1 tablespoon of butter. Then what I did was, I put some plastic wrap, and then I placed like a lot of times flour on the bottom and flour on the top, and I just kind of kneaded in until it got this kind of a darker yellowish compared to this. There's a comparison. You can tell this one's much more darker yellow than this. So I'll teach you how to make icing in a second. Okay, bye. It turned out like you have to get it a little bit tan, like a little bit tan. Also at the end I'll show you how to make this icing, because and you can technically do whatever you want with it. I put Nutella into this kind, and I put it, I mean, you can use however much Nutella you want. I put in about these kinds. So you can really just add however much you want. And yeah, I'll get to you once. I'll show you how to make it in a second with the Hershey spread, because I know some people might be allergic to nuts. So yeah, see you guys. Other one, so this is what you need to make for the Hershey's sugar cookie icing spread. The Hershey's spread is optional. You can use Nutella or pretty much any other like chocolate or whatever flavor you like. Even food coloring, which I'm not going to use. So what you need is 1 cup of powdered sugar with 4 teaspoons of milk. And yeah, so I'll come back when it's done. You can add as much of the Hershey spread as you want. It just depends how strong you want the flavor to be. So yeah, this is pretty much how you make the sugar cookie icing. I'll come back to you when I am done mixing. Okay, so after you have mixed it in with a fork, just put it in a bag, any bag. I'm just using one of these bags. You can use Ziploc bag, whatever, and then seal it. Push it to one end, leave a little spacing, and then just tie a rubber band around it or something. Then using the spacing, cut the tiniest hole. Like, don't make it too big, because it could take a while. Like, you can mess up, and it's better to have it smaller. So I'm gonna let this freeze in the freezer. This is what the Hershey spread looked like, and here are the ones with Nutella. So this was pretty easy to make. You could do it maybe in about 2 hours if you do the decorations by hand. You could just eat this plain without it. It tastes just as great. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, because I enjoyed making it lots. Thanks for watching. Bye.